everyone, my name's Lauren and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Something Borrowed Blooms. Today I am here to tell you all about our new Eloise collection. I'm going to give you a collection overview so you can see every single piece that we offer in this beautiful collection. I can't wait to show you everything. The Eloise collection is inspired by the English countryside. We love all of the beautiful wildflower looking florals in this collection, and the color palette is soft and beautiful. Let's start with the bridal bouquet. This is the Eloise bridal bouquet. As you can see, she's made up of beautiful mixed florals. The greenery in this collection highlights a wild wisteria branch, which I really love because it adds to the movement and shape of this collection, makes it a little more organic, not really too refined. It actually has some really nice movement and shape to give it a little bit of a more natural look. I really like the sprays of wild wisteria that extend beyond the main florals. So you can see there's a few sprays that extend out. The florals in this collection are a beautiful mix of roses and ranunculus and zinnia and dahlia, so I'll show you all of those now. And you can see the colors vary from ivory to a pale linen to pinks and even some golden yellow undertones. So first I'll show you the linen cream ranunculus that's found throughout this collection. This is a beautiful buttery linen cream ranunculus, so pretty. We also add in this pink trailing spray rose. So you can see this, the pink rose really kind of like adds that little pop of color, not too much, but just enough throughout the bouquet. And then we also have this two-toned dahlia. So the dahlia here, it's mainly ivory, but you can see there are some shades of pink on the tips of the petals, which are so pretty. And then one of my personal favorites is the zinnia. This is the first time we've actually used a zinnia in any of our collections, and I think it adds to that wildflower feel. So it has a little bit of like, you know, sunflowery kind of feel with the darker brown center and has that golden circle around it. But the ivory petals are so soft and layer beautifully, and I really like how this is used throughout the collection. We also have this light linen cream ruffle rose. She has different sizes throughout this piece, which are also really beautiful. So again, this is the Eloise bridal bouquet. I'll do a little backup so you can see the size. It's a really nice size. This is actually designed specifically not to be too large or too overpowering. So we wanted this to have a little more organic, contained look. So this is the bridal bouquet, and I'll do a full 360 for you. So here's the front. This is a design that has a definite front and back. So you'll see that the bouquet will come to you with a ribbon wrap, and the knot of the ribbon will be at the back of the bouquet. This makes it nice and easy, so when you're holding it up against your dress, it doesn't, you know, come too far out. And also always suggest holding your bouquet down so that your forearms rest on your hip bones, and it gives you a really nice placement of the bouquet. The Eloise bridal bouquet. Next up, we have another version of the Eloise bridal bouquet to offer. This is our Eloise bridal bouquet blanc. While we were designing this collection, there were so many beautiful white florals that we kind of came up with this idea to have an alternative to the more colorful bridal bouquet to offer this all white bouquet as well. This bouquet is actually made up of all white roses. It's various rose styles. So you have your large blown out roses, some garden roses, trailing roses throughout. So just a really beautiful mix of all white roses mixed in with the wild wisteria branch. Again, I love the wisteria in this collection, and that's what really keeps this piece cohesive with the rest of the collection and works really nicely with everything else. So this is the Eloise bridal bouquet blanc. Again, very similar in size to the Eloise bridal bouquet that has more color. I'll do a 360 for you. This one does have florals throughout, but of course there is a definite back. It's a great size. So this is a great option for you if you want to have a white bouquet for yourself, but have your bridesmaids to have more color in their florals. You can kind of mix these in. Additionally, this bouquet could mix with lots of other collections that we offer throughout our website. So if you're thinking of a different collection altogether, you could use this Eloise bridal bouquet blanc and mix it in with other collections. Now I'll show you the bridesmaid bouquet with the bridal bouquet so you can see how they are next to each other and to give you a size reference. Here is the Eloise bridal bouquet with the bridesmaid bouquet. Both bouquets use all the similar florals, so they coordinate very beautifully together. The shape is a little bit different. It's much smaller in size than the bridal bouquet. And here's how the bridesmaid bouquet looks with the Eloise bridal bouquet blanc. So as you can see, this is still a really beautiful combination. Again, this is the all white option for the bride. So if the bride really wants to stick true to the all white color palette, she can use this bridal bouquet, the Eloise bridal bouquet blanc, and still pair it with the Eloise bridesmaids bouquets. You can see here that there are similar florals. The roses, some of the roses are repeated in both, and then the wild wisteria is found in both as well. So these coordinate really nicely. So we've covered your bouquets that you'll need for your wedding day. Now let's think about everyone else. Moms, dads, ushers, all the other people who you need to make sure you have florals for. We'll start with the posy. So this is traditionally used as a mother's posy. This is for maybe the mother of the bride or groom who doesn't want to stick with the traditional wrist corsage. This can be held in one hand as you're being escorted down the aisle. It's also a really great option for junior bridesmaids. So if you have a younger attendant for your wedding day, the posy is a good option. The posy is made up of the white zinnia. You can see two buds here with the light pale pink ranunculus and the wisteria branches. It's a really nice piece. You can see it's much smaller scale size down from the bouquets, and it's intended to be carried in one hand. So this is a great option. You can also use these to decorate tables if you use this in a bud vase. So another good option there. Now, if you have mothers and grandmothers who do prefer the more traditional wrist corsage, we have you covered there too. This is the Eloise corsage. As you can see, it's made with the ruffle rose. Again, it's this pale peach kind of pinky color with just a little hint of dahlia. This is a really beautiful wrist corsage. It does have the wisteria greenery. You can see it's not too large, just enough to kind of have a little floral on the wrist, which looks really beautiful. Now, we can't forget about the guys. So we have two boutonniere styles for this collection. First, we have the dahlia boutonniere. As you can see, this is the large dahlia bud. It is like a white dahlia with the hint of pink on the ends of the petals with a little green leaf. So this would be perfect if you want to kind of use a larger boutonniere for maybe the groom or the fathers. This is a really fun boutonniere, a little bit larger, a little more of a statement. And then we also have a more traditional style boutonniere with two ivory roses and the green wisteria leaves. This is another really beautiful option. Again, just more traditional, more classic look. This is also a boutonniere that can be mixed in with many of our other collections. So if you have your eye on a different collection but really like this boutonniere, you can always rent this boutonniere and pair it with many other options. And hair pieces. So we have a floral comb that uses a pink trailing rose with a little white rosebud with the green wisteria leaves, and it's made on this gold metal comb. Perfect to be placed if you're wearing a veil and you want to have something floral on the back of the veil, you can do that. Also, maybe you have a bridesmaid who you want to kind of highlight. Maybe she can put this in like an updo or a side do. Very pretty way to kind of incorporate floral in the hair. And then we also have a floral hair pin, much smaller, much daintier. You can actually use a few of these. I've seen this really beautifully done with a updo that had several of these kind of tucked in throughout. It looked really nice. Also a really great option for flower girls. So if you have a flower girl who's a little one and you just want a little sweet floral in the hair, this is a really great option as well. And if you're incorporating your furry friends into your wedding day, we haven't forgotten about them either. So we do have a dog collar. It has the ribbon, so it is adjustable. You can tie it to whatever size might be needed for your pet. And we say it's a dog collar, but we've seen these used on many different animals, including an alpaca. So if you wanted to get creative and use these are a great way to kind of include those. So the dog collar does have all the florals that you've seen throughout the rest of the collection. Here is the flower girl ball. So if you have a flower girl, this would be a perfect item for her to hold as she's walking down the aisle if she isn't actively throwing flower petals. This is a really sweet little product for her. It's a rose bud ball and it has the pink roses on top. So it's a very sweet look. It's very easy for little ones to manage while they're walking down the aisle. They simply hold it in their hands and it's such a sweet look. Here is the Eloise aisle marker. So the aisle markers are intended to be used to line either chairs or pews down your aisle. They are constructed with a hook on the back, so you can hook them either to the actual chair or pew itself, or you might want to use command hooks to install these. The aisle marker is made up of the ruffle rose with the pink trailing rose and the white rose, as well as the wild wisteria greenery. It's a really beautiful product. It does have the ribbons that come attached to this, so it gives a very romantic, soft look. It looks beautiful lining the aisles. We've also seen these used on signs if you wanted to attach this to a sign to kind of make a little swag. They're also really great to use as like filler or on tablescapes as well, even mix them with garland. So the aisle marker is a very versatile product. If you want to kind of keep florals into certain looks, you can use the aisle marker easily. Here is the Eloise cake cluster. So the cake cluster comes in a little bag, and it's an assortment of flowers found in the Eloise collection that you can use to decorate your cake. But we also see people use these for other things like flat lays, if you want to take some pictures and get creative with maybe your engagement rings or your stationery. These work really well. Also, this is great for bud vases. So if you want to incorporate bud vases throughout your decor, the cake clusters can sometimes be the perfect little pieces to put inside of the bud vases. So I'll show you what pieces are included. 3 of the white rosebud, and they are individual little clippings. A piece of the wisteria branch, some of the pink trailing rose, and then the dahlia and the dahlia bud. So all of these items will be included in a cake cluster that you can purchase. These are purchase items. You do not return the cake clusters, and you can order multiple of these. So if you want to use some for your cake, some for your flat lays, some for your bud vases, you can order several of these and then get creative with how you want to use them for your special day. Let's jump into centerpieces. Here is our Eloise standard centerpiece. This is a perfect size centerpiece for smaller tables or accent areas. This is great to be used on a guest sign-in table or gift table, but they also can be used on your standard dining tables if you'd like to do that. They also work really well with votives kind of sprinkled around them if you choose to do that. So this is the Eloise standard centerpiece. It comes in this metal mint julep style vase, and it's a gathering of florals on top. So you can see many of the florals that are used throughout this collection is found in this product. It's a mix of the white dahlia and rose spray with the linen cream ruffle rose. Another white ivory garden rose is here with the peach ranunculus, the rose spray again, and lots of the wisteria. I think one of my favorite things about this collection is the shape that the wisteria gives this all of these items. So because the wisteria is so branchy, you can kind of really make some interesting shapes, and you see there's like an asymmetric feel here. So this is a really great standard centerpiece. This will come in the preview pack if you choose to order a preview pack. Here is the Eloise large centerpiece. So this is a great size for 60-inch round tables. So if you're using your standard 60-inch round tables, this is a perfect centerpiece to use in the center of that. You also can add votives candles to kind of fill in the space if you wanted to do so. This centerpiece comes in this antique metal vase. It's a silver, but it does have an antique glaze, so it can be mixed with other metals. So if you wanted to incorporate gold, this would look just fine with gold accents next to it. It really looks nicely with a variety of metals. You can see this one is larger in size compared to the standard. There's definitely more florals and the large centerpiece. The zinnia is at the forefront of this design. You can see it's nicely placed in the front and center of the design here, along with this beautiful buttery linen ranunculus. And then of course we mixed in the pink trailing rose throughout. You can see here more of the white garden roses, ruffle rose, and the ranunculus. I really like how this one too has the little mini ranunculus that give it some height. The mini ranunculus have longer stems, so they really kind of come up and again add to that overall asymmetric shape. You can see here the wisteria kind of outlines that shape, and the florals follow suit. So it looks really beautiful. And the third centerpiece we offer is the grand centerpiece. So here's our Eloise grand centerpiece. As you can see, this is a much larger focal point centerpiece You would use these typically in your ceremony spaces, anywhere you wanted to add a real high impact look with floral. So you can see this is a much larger centerpiece. If I'm holding it up to myself, it covers my whole body. It is full of beautiful florals, and the wild wisteria really shows off on this product. You can see it hangs over so beautifully. Again, this is what gives us that English countryside kind of feel. A little bit wildflowery, a little bit natural, but still very elevated. So you can see here there are beautiful white roses. The zinnia is featured prominently throughout here. I love this really beautiful blown out white rose. It's so pretty, mixed in with the little smaller garden roses, which looks so nice. Again, here's that ranunculus that I love so much. Then you can see the dahlia here, which is such an unexpected twist. I love incorporating a dahlia in this design. So overall, just a really beautiful piece. It does have the pink trail rose, so it adds that color, but not overstated in color. It's a really beautiful soft color palette that looks really nice. And then of course you can rent the grand centerpiece on its own, just like this, or you can choose to rent the stands that go with these products so perfectly. So we have two different stand heights. We have the 4-foot and the 3-foot. The 4-foot is perfect to be used for your ceremony if you want to add an elevated florals to your ceremony space, maybe kind of flanking you and your partner. And the 3-foot is also good if you wanted that to look layered. So if you kind of like trail it down. The 3-foot stand is also really great to be used on top of tables. So if you wanted to have maybe mark like the head tables or the family tables in your reception area, you could put the 3-foot stands on top of your table and a grand centerpiece on top, and it would add elevated florals to your reception area, which always looks really cool when you kind of have a mix of heights. So that's another good option for you as well. The Eloise grand centerpiece is designed in a pewter vase, so we do have pewter stands that coordinate, but you could use the gold if you wanted to mix metals there as well. And last we have the Eloise garland. I think I might have saved my favorite for last. The Eloise garland is so beautiful. Again, this is when the wisteria branch really gets to show off. It has that untamed look with the wisteria, wild wisteria kind of like flowing through all the florals. It looks so beautiful. The garland is about 6 feet in length. The dimensions can be found on the website and features all of the beautiful florals throughout this collection. So you have the ruffle rose, the zinnia, the dahlia, the pink trail rose, with lots of greenery throughout. This garland can be manipulated to fit over if you wanted to attach it to like an archway or a ceremony space. You can put it on a mantle. You can use it as a runner on a table. There's lots of things you can do with this garland to really amp up your space. This is a really beautiful full floral, full greenery garland. So there you have it. That is our entire lineup for our beautiful Eloise collection. I hope you love it as much as we do. I'd love to know what your favorite piece is, so go ahead and drop that in the comments below. Also, be sure you're following us on all social channels. You can find us on Instagram at SB Blooms and on Facebook at Something Borrowed Blooms, and TikTok at SB Blooms. If you're interested in this collection and you want to rent it for your special day, be sure to go to our website at somethingborrowedblooms.com. All the products are available for rent and available for your wedding date today.